This is exactly what the Miami Heat needed. Kel'el Ware heard the call out from his head coach, Erik Spoelstra, and answered the call, showing up and showing out in Game 2 of the NBA Summer League. I'm here to break down that most recent performance and how it seems like Kel'el Ware is more than willing to accept Heat culture and really just ready himself to be a professional athlete going into his sophomore season. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest. But first, please do remember to scroll down and click the subscribe button if you're a part of the near 90% watching this video not currently subscribed. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down the bounce back we needed to witness, as Kel'el Ware had a lot of question marks surrounding him going into this second game because of after the first, despite having a pretty good performance, one better than most on the court that night. But there was bigger questions because of head coach Erik Spoelstra calling him out, which we broke down on the last episode of Heat Digest. If you have not seen it, you can go check it out. I'm going to quickly break down in a very brief way what happened. We got this tweet from Wes Goldberg citing Erik Spoelstra as he was caught in a clip answering questions about Kel'el Ware and really the lack of professionalism, the lack of motor, and what he needs to work on and how he is working on it. He made that extremely blunt and made that extremely clear at the beginning of his answer. But despite that, it still needs to be worked on. And I said in the video that Kel'el Ware landed in the perfect organization because it's the Miami Heat. There is Heat culture. That is a definitive thing that stands out amongst any of the other teams in the NBA. And despite if you're LeBron James or if you're Dwayne Wade, Alonzo Mourning, the list goes on of notable names that have played there and have had to shape their game and really their willingness to be a professional athlete in a specific way to this Miami Heat organization. And like Jimmy Butler, if it doesn't work and you don't like to do it anymore, and yes, there were more contributing factors to this, but it was a piece of it. He was moved, despite being the best player on this Miami Heat organization at the time. Now, what happened since? Well, Kel'el Ware had his second game, and he answered the challenge. This is the first one. So after the first quarter, it was abundantly clear that he was there to answer the bell. And I'm going to play a clip for you of a drop step he had down in the paint, showing it's not only the fact that he was out there being aggressive with the basketball and as well as on the defensive end of the floor, but it was how he was doing it. He wasn't settling for jump shots, even though a lot of his three-point attempts are pretty good in the sense that if he does take one off the dribble, he shoots it very confidently at least. But again, for the first quarter, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 5 of 8 from the field, and 1 of 1 from behind the three-point line in only 8 minutes of basketball. And yes, it is Summer League. You have to keep that in the back of your mind. He is not playing against NBA superstars right now, but it is credible basketball that we have to take in and take for account that this is improvement. This is what we want to see from Kel'el Ware following getting called out from his head coach, someone who expects to put him in the starting lineup of this Miami Heat team once the regular season does begin. And it didn't end there, as then the first half went on and concluded and he ended with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. And what he shoots, 7 of 10 from the field. I apologize, the font is extremely small on my end, but it got even better as the game continued. And obviously, he ended with 21, 9, and 3 blocks. Ended up with 1 steal, no assist, a plus minus of -7 in a game the Heat lost by 20. So the Heat can't win a game in the Summer League, but Kel'el Ware continues to play very well, and he's answering the call, exactly what you need to see, and he was very, very efficient. 8 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the three-point line, and 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Only 1 turnover. He did have 4 personal fouls. Overall, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff in a very, very important game, because if he did not go out there and produce and he ended up laying an egg, there would be massive conversations how he was rattled and how he seems to be not mentally tough enough to get by in this league when he sees some criticism, or constructive criticism, I should say. So this was a great, great game from Kel'el Ware, and I'm going to show you that clip for you guys now of him in the paint really being dominant. And it might not look that clean. The footwork might not be perfect, and the actual approach and when he does try to finish might not be the cleanest in the sense of the eye test, if you will, but he is going right at the chest of his defender. He's going off of a one dribble drop step, and he's finishing the basketball aggressively at the rim. He should have probably dunked it to make it a poster, but again, he finished it off the glass, and here's that video now.
Lewis looking for Ware down low. Lewis going at Niang. Lewis bucket and the strength.
Getting the basket plus the foul, he would go to the free throw line. And again, this is what you want to see from Kel'el Ware. When you are that big and when you are have that many abilities, and that's what Erik Spoelstra said. It's just the lack of, really, I don't want to say want, because that is not Erik Spoelstra's words, and I don't want to paraphrase and say it that way, but Erik Spoelstra just called out his professionalism. How, be the first guy in the gym, be the last guy out. That is not who Kel'el Ware is currently. But if he does that, we are going to see great strides. And we got answers from Kel'el Ware, which is huge, because he was asked directly about the call out from head coach Erik Spoelstra, and this is the answer we got. And shout out to Heat Culture on Twitter, as we always end up citing them on this channel, and they're ended up citing Miami Heat's Twitter account. But again, Kel'el Ware's quote: "I took it as motivation. You know, obviously he's the coach and he has the trust in me and he wants to see me be the best that I can be. So I took it as motivation." And that's the answer from Kel'el Ware. And he ended up to get asked a few more questions in this post-game interview. It's good to see. His answer and his tone is a bit interesting, I will say. I'm not sure if that's just Kel'el Ware and he's more of a monotone type of guy, but he seemed to hesitate just a bit in his answer. He definitely thought about it before he just went out there and said something, which is good to see. Again, this will be tagged down below to take you right to Heat Culture's Twitter and to this tweet exactly. And if you'd like to listen to it yourself, I think it's worth it. It's interesting. I'll say that. He's not all happy. He's not joyful. He's not jumping to the bits. He's not excited that he just had this 21-9 with 3-block game in the summer league. Seems very just routine, and now he has to answer these questions, and I don't know if he's taken back by it, but he's definitely willing to answer them. So interesting. Go check it out if you'd like to see it yourself. I love this progression from Kel'el Ware. I know the call out was a bit aggressive from Erik Spoelstra, but only seeing 14 points and I believe 9 rebounds in that first game, it was good to see. He went out there and played basketball, and we went and reported on it and how it was a good showing from Kel'el Ware. He had a few very good-looking three-point shots, including one of them off the dribble in a step-back fashion from the top of the key, which was, for a 7'1" guy, if you see that, that's a green flag in today's game. So it felt like there were a lot of key points there. He obviously was a force on the boards, and defensively, again, he's always a problem because of his size and stature, and not being pulled outside of the paint as often as teams should probably try to do and are probably going to have to do going forward if he continues to be this force defensively for this Miami Heat team on the professional stage. But I really like this. I really enjoy that he answered the call. He was willing to answer the questions honestly at the end, and he, despite thinking about it for a second, I'm going to go with that he genuinely meant that it was motivation and that he's not just giving the right answer in that situation, while also going out there and producing, not only being efficient, but going out there and dominating the game in an individual standpoint, because the Heat still did lose by 20 points in the Summer League. So we're not going to say we're not going to be competitive this year, because Kel'el Ware's the only player / starter that's going to be playing. But again, thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what your overall opinions are on Kel'el Ware in this entire situation going on with Erik Spoelstra, and if you think this was a good response game from him. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest. Thank you guys for watching.